Alright YouTubes, how are we all doing? I hope you're all well. Today's video I'm going to be doing a bit of work on the Williams Clio. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some work on this. So yeah, I'll just talk you through what I'm going to do, make a start on it. So we've had a bit of a sort out. I've had the car in and I've gone through all the parts that I've got for it. Me and Reese have gone through everything, so I've got them sort of stored here, there and everywhere, and we've just sort of got all the parts together and sort of organised it. A lot of it's labelled, some of it wasn't. We started going through it all and I was like, where does this go, where does that go? And yeah, I would have been 2 days doing that if I'd have carried on with it. So it's all, they're organised anyway, sort of. So yeah, the car's in now. So all I've done, all we've done, just took the other bits of glass out. So I took the tailgate glass out, and this quarter glass out, and got the windscreen guys coming in a few days. They're going to come and get the screen out. We've jacked it, we've had it up on the ramp, so I've got a bit awkward to get on these ramps. It's not the ideal place to jack. I need to get to the backs of the sills. But it goes up and it seems safe up in the air. So just going to give the interior, just hoover out all the debris out of this interior first. That's what first thing I'm going to do. And then yeah, in today's video I'm just going to paint strip this side. So it's nothing exciting, but just going to get all the paint off this quarter panel, get this door off, and get all the paint off of that, and I'm going to get it in epoxy. I've done a little bit of beating. There's a couple of sort of dings and stuff in this door that's on here, so I've done a little bit of tapping about with those, and yeah, that's what I'm going to concentrate on because I've only got a day or so on this. So I just want to try and get, you know, a part of it done. I don't want to start exposing loads of bare metal and leaving it, because I want to get the whole car in epoxy before I start doing any filler work. I want to get all this old paint off. There's a few previous repairs on some of the panels. I want to just get all the paint off on the outer body and get some epoxy on it, and then yeah, then I know it's protected and I can get filler on top of that. That's how I want to do it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. Get this paint stripped, these two panels, and get some epoxy on it. So just going to get the interior hoovered out, and then get this door off, and start paint stripping it.
On the hinge, right on the back. Always got the other one. That's it. Right.
Can I do that?
Do you need to key it on the big paint strip?
No, you just need to scratch it so you can see, get in the scratches.
Oh,
Over the wire brush. You don't want to scratch it too much.
so you don't want to like sand it?
You could aid the grit, scratch it. Paint strip will get it off. Oh,
What?
it's wobbling a bit down there. Right, so I've got this ready now to start putting the paint strip on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just scratch up all the surface with a wire brush and maybe a bit of 80 grit as well, and just go and scratch it all up before I put it on there. This one's better. The only time I need a bit of 80, it's not on it. Stinks, absolutely stinks. So, Mark said to put cling film over it, but
Over what?
when you put it on to put cling film over it, which mask is what?
I would drop the name.
Really should put eye protection on really. Right then, YouTubes, that's most of the paint stripping done. Well, as much as I want to do anyway, because it stinks. So I'll give you a quick look. I sort of left it on overnight, and yeah, with the moisture in it, it's created a bit of bit of rust on the metal, but got the majority of it off. It's just never as good as it used to be, paint stripper. They took out all the good stuff, well, the bad stuff, which made it good. So yeah, I used what did I use? I used Starchem Sin Strip. I used. It worked okay. This took about 4 lots to get this off, but it's, yeah, bulk of it's off. That'd be easy to sand now. So what I'm going to do now is I need to wash all the residue off. So I'm just going to wash it with plain water and a red Scotch-Brite and just give it a good scrubbing all over, get it dried off, blown off, and then I'm just going to start sanding it. I'm going to try 120 first, see what that sounds like. It may go, I may be using 80 on it, and then just DA all the flats and then sand all these last bits of paint off, get the wheels, a couple of little bits of rust I found on these rivets that didn't show in the paint, so I'm glad I got the paint off of there. This door's clean, I'm pleased with this. There is a little bit of rust on the inside. I'm probably going to have to take the sealer off on this, so I'm going to paint strip the inside of this door anyway. If the sealer goes, the sealer goes. I'll probably take the sealer off the other door as well, so then I can match the sealer beads on both doors then. Some things I'm just not going to be able to keep original because I want to know everything from this car body wise, well, at least the outer body. I want to know it from the metal upwards. I want to know every product that's on there. I don't want anything reappearing that may have been hidden later, you know, in the future. So that's why I want to get everything off of this paint wise. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. I'll scrub it all down with some water and a Scotch-Brite, get it all cleaned, and then start sanding it. Right, so that's the outside of the door done, and the quarter panel and monoside. That's it all paint stripped now. So I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start just with wire wheels and getting all these edges and stuff, and then once I've done all that, dress up a couple of little bits of rust there, wheel them out, and then I'll start machine sanding it with a dual action. And the back of the door, I'm just going to paint strip that now while I'm getting on with the sanding and stuff on the car. This is the only bit of rust on this door. It's just, yeah, it's hard to find a door. There's a little scab there, and it's a little bit crusty in there, but it is really solid, and can't see anything on the inside. So yeah, the sealer's going to have to come out. I know it's going to have to come out, but I'm not leaving that in there or painting over that. I want it all out of there. So yeah, the seam sealer's going to come off. I'm not sure if the paint stripper will take it all off. It'll probably end up skagging it, so it probably will end up coming off. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that bit now. Right, so I've bare metaled the inside of the driver's door, and it's all right. It's not too bad, but the bottom is a little bit rustier than what I thought. I'm just gonna have to make the best I can with it. I can't find. Well, I probably could find another door, but it took me a while to find this one. I looked at a couple when I bought this one. They were way worse than this. So I'm just gonna have to do the best I can with it. It's a shame because it is rusting between the two skins. So I mean, it looks okay inside. I can see a tiny little bit of rust down here, but I'm just gonna have to clean up. I'm gonna clean up all of this with wire wheels, get in as much as I can. I think I'm gonna leave the rest of the sealer on this door because it's okay. Well, we'll see anyway. Yeah, I think I probably will. I want it to try and look as factory as possible, but doing a piece of sealer down here won't be too bad, and I should be able to blend that in. So yeah, I'm going to wire wheel all of this lip as much as I can, maybe even try and get on the inside of there a little bit, and then I'm just going to douse it in rust converter, put a few layers of that on, and then yeah, when that's gone off and it's done its stuff, then I'll just epoxy it, and then when it comes to paint, I'll do a new bead of sealer across this bottom, and then on the inside I'll just do a bead of spray sealer on the inside, and hope for the best. Yeah, so yeah, I think it'll be okay. The plan is, if this car ever gets done, that I probably wouldn't ever take it in the wet anyway. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm going to get all this ground out with a wire wheel, and then get some treatment on it. And once that's done, I can sort of just start sanding and getting off all the other loose stuff around it, and we'll get it all sanded and get some epoxy on it. YouTubes. That's the door now, the inside of the door already. Ready for epoxy. Wow, nearly. I'm just going to do some rust treatment, so I'll give you a quick look. I'm pleased with it actually. It's cleaned up well. So everything's been bare metalled. I've used every single wire wheel known to man to clean off all the little bits of paint that were left, and the rust is all right. It's really solid, so it's definitely treatable. So that's there's a bit there, but it's really solid. It's pitted a bit, and it is between both skins, but it's not as bad as I thought, to be honest with you. When I first paint stripped, I thought, oh, it's going to be really crusty underneath, but it's really solid. So I'm pleased with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to brush some. So everything's been degreased and cleaned up. I've degreased the inside and keyed up the rest of the inside just with a bit of red Scotch-Brite. So I'm just going to put some rust converter on that. I'll show you which one it is. So I'm going to put a couple of coats of that on it, Genolite, and let that eat its way in. So that'd be ready for epoxy. The rest I've just got to flip it over and sand all the outside now. There's no rust to do on there. So with the car, I've pretty much done all the jam and everything, so I've just got to take this bit of brushed epoxy off, clean up all in here. I'm going to just pin pull a little bit of this because it's dipped in a little bit, and just straighten that up a little bit, and then I've got the job I'm really not looking forward to. Got to get under the car. This is what I've got to try and achieve at this stage. Oh, I've got the torch. So I'll get the car up a bit higher, and I'm just going to get under here, and where this repair has been done, I've started getting a bit of surface rust now, so I've got to get in here and wheel off all the backside of this where it's been welded, just to get a bit of treatment on there, and just get a bit of epoxy on there for now, because there's more work to be done under here. So I'm not too concerned. I just want to stop that from getting any worse at the moment. So yeah, that's what I've got to do. So yeah, this you know, the way I'm doing this job, it is going to be long-winded doing it the way I'm doing it, but I haven't really got any choice. I've got to, you know, I'm going to be able to just do the odd day on it here and there, mainly on the weekends. So everything I do, if it's bare metaling or filler work, I need to get that part with epoxy back on it. Whether it's bare metal or filler, if I finish the filler or not, I need epoxy on it because I need it to be protected and waterproof, because I'm just going to undo any work that I do on this if I don't do that. So I'm just concentrating on 1 or 2 panels at a time until I can get that panel or them couple of panels to get them finished filler wise. Once the filler's finished, get that in epoxy, then that can be left. I haven't got to worry about that, and then I'll move on to the next panel or 2 panels, and that's how I'm going to have to do this for now. Just get all the outer body bare metalled, epoxied, filler work, then epoxy on top of that. And once I get the car at that stage all over the body, then the car's going to go off and have all the mechanicals out of it. I know everything work-wise that I've done then is protected with epoxy on there, because I'm going to spray fill some of the panels on this as well. I'm going to spray fill the doors, the quarter panels, probably not the roof, and the bonnet and the boot, the outer skins. I'm not going to go sort of all over it, but I'm going to be doing these panels. I'm not going to spray fill up here or anything, but up the flats, it's going to have spray filler. So once it's all in epoxy, then I can knock that epoxy off, yeah, once all the filler's done and the epoxy's on top of it, I can knock that epoxy off, spray fill it, 2-pack prime it. That's the plan. Anyway, but yeah, like I say, once I get all the body to where I want it, repair wise, and with epoxy back on there, then the car's going to go off then and get all the mechanicals out of it, and then I can concentrate on all the inner work then, so wheel boxes, engine bay and floor, and I'll do all of that work. I mean, this can take me a long time, and once all that work's done, all the inner works, you know, wheel boxes and floor and everything like that, and treated, and any welding that needs doing and painted, then I get all the mechanicals back in it so it moves again, and then I do an outer body then I do a body respray then. That's the plan. I want to try and get this car done for when I'm 50, so I've got 2.5 years. I've had it 10 years and this is as far as I've got, so at that pace it's not going to get done, but no, I'm really going to try and achieve this. So that's where I am now. I'm going to crack on with these other bits, wire wheeling, get these other bits of metal cleaned up, and get the rest of the body sanded up, get it all prepped up, and get some epoxy on it. Right then, YouTubes, this is it. This is the first paint application on this Renault Williams Clio that I've done since I've owned it in 10 years. I've never put any paint, it's never been in the booth before. So this is it. These two panels are ready now, ready to go, ready for epoxy. So I'll give you a quick look. It's all masked up. It's all cleaned down, it's all been sanded with 120 and degreased. I am going to degrease it again, but no, it's all cleaned up well, and yeah, look forward to getting this primer on here. This is a long-winded way of doing this job, but I've got to be able to just get sections done to a certain stage and then move on. I have got a plan for it, the way I'm going to do it. It's long-winded, but it's the only way it's going to work for me with the space I've got and the time that I'm going to have to spend on it. So, you know, once I get stuff in epoxy, I know it's safe then. And like I say, you know, I can get filler work done and get epoxy on that. And then I know that's safe then. So once this whole body's in epoxy and all the filler work's done with epoxy back over it, once all the body's like that, then the car's going to go off then. I'm not sure where at the moment. I've spoke to a couple of people, but it's going to go off and get all the mechanicals out of it. And then I'll go through all of that, get it all separated, what can be refurbed, what needs replacing. And then when it's at that stage, I'll then concentrate on all the inner parts. So the wheel boxes, inner wings, engine bay and floor. I'm not going to completely bare metal this whole shell. The outer body I'm going to bare metal. Not sure on the roof yet, I might not. But the bonnet boot and the door and the quarter on the other side, the wings are plastic, so they obviously won't be stripped down. But I'm not going to like bare metal the complete floor or the engine bay or anything like that. There's loads of little spots of rust here and there on the floor. Once I'm at that stage where all the mechanicals are out, I'm just going to go around with wire wheels, hit bits of rust that I can see, take it back a bit further. If it's treatable, I'll treat it. If it's holes, then it'll get welded, and that's how I'm going to do it. And then the whole thing will just get under sealed. It's almost a full restoration, but it's not to the point where the shell's completely bare and it's all been shot blasted and all that. I can't do it like that. It's not feasible for me to do it like that. So this is going to be, I don't know, a 3/4 restoration. There's so many ways to do this type of work, and if I was in a different situation, I probably would do it differently. But the way I'm going to do this, it's going to work, and I'm going to get. It's achievable for me to do it like this. Well, it needs to, you know, every time I do something on this car, it needs to be put away, and I have to go and get it every time. So that's how I'm going to do it. There's going to be people that would do it a different way, and like I say, in a different set of circumstances, you know, if I had loads more time, I probably would do it in a different way. I'd try and do the whole shell in one go, but I can't. So this is the way I'm going to do it. Hopefully it's going to come out nice. So yeah, that's it. So I'll show you what I'm putting MIPA. So it'd be MIPA epoxy going on it. So it's just called EP, grinder filler and hardener. So I'm going to get that mixed up. I'm going to put it on. It says 1.4 to 1.6 per gun, but I want to put a nice coat on there. My primer gun, my 100B is a 1.8. It's probably a little bit too heavy for that. And then my next gun that I could put it on with is my wet and wet gun, which is 1.4, which I think is probably not big enough for that. So I'm going to put it on with a primer gun because it's probably quite thick. It's just put it on with a primer gun and maybe wind the fluid in a little bit. So I'm going to get it all mixed up, all the epoxy mixed up, and start getting it on there. Right then, YouTubes, that's the Clio now in epoxy. Well, not the Clio, but some of it. So I'll give you a quick look. You can have a look at the filler work that I've got to do there. And yeah, I'm pleased with the progress I've made on it. It's more progress I've made in the last couple of days than I have in about 10 years. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna go and put it away for another 2 years. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go and put it away though, and yeah, hopefully I can get it back out soon. And I think the next thing I'm going to do on it is I'm going to strip the bonnet and the boot, because that's quite manageable for a couple of days work. So I'll get the bonnet off and get the outside skins paint stripped and do the same again, get that in epoxy. And then I'm going to start on the filler work after that on this quarter panel. But yes, I'm pleased with it. It's all come out all right. And yeah, it'll be protected now for a little bit, so the sill looks nice. It's a real shame. I've just only recently I was looking online, because at the time I haven't been able to find quarter panel for this car, and I've said in the previous video that I had wheel arch welded in it and then removed that, and now this is another one that's been put in there. But I found a company, it was only a few days ago, they've got replica quarter panels for these now, for Williams, and they look pretty good. They're about €500. I don't know how much shipping to the UK would be, but I was in two minds to get one and cut this one off, but it's too much work's been involved now with the stage that I'm at. So I'm just going to carry on with it. It's all fillable, and I'm sure I can make it look decent with the filler work. So yeah, that's it for now. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And yeah, stay tuned for the next Williams Clio video. Should be coming pretty soon, hopefully. So thanks a lot anyway.